All right. What is going on, everybody? Yes, we're not going to start until about 6 minutes from now, and we'll get the folks from Mandox in here and have a little sit down and have a talk about Mandox and what they're up to. Of course, their first NFT drop already out. Second one is coming soon. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to look at the chart, go through the white paper a little bit, talk about the great things they're doing in Guatemala. And wow, hopefully everything is doing well for everybody out there. The crypto market, man, looking super, super bullish today. Let me share my screen over here. We can at least start with that and take a look at where we're at in the crypto market. And yes, this is the MANDOX AMA. You're in the right place. So go ahead and smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and sit back, relax, and strap it down because we're going to be with Mandox here in a little bit. So Bitcoin up about 9%. 42,000 is not too far away. In fact, I think it hit 42K earlier today. Did it touch it? Yeah, it did. Got up and over it over here, 42.3 and some change, and we're heading in that direction again here. So that's good to see with Bitcoin. What's up going? What's going on, everybody? What's up? How about this? One of the true first people on the channel, Nut. What's going on, man? Glad to see you're here too, man. I appreciate the kind words. And Breeze in the house. What's up? Malik, how you doing? Mandox Scorpion, what's up? All right. Dogs of Mandox in the house. Mari Red in the house. What's up, Mari? Nuno's in the house. What's up, Nuno? Abandoned, what's happening? No, not a new coin. This has been around for a little while. This is Bitcoin chart, but we'll go back out. Coin market cap. Here, I can show you Mandox's chart. This is their chart. I mean, it has looked really good for a long time. You know, just these really healthy downturns and then back up. Downturn and back up. We're actually in a little bit of a dip right now on the Mandox chart as we're looking at it. But no, not a new coin. They've been around for a little bit. November 26th is when they came to market. So late last year, 2021, they were here. So yeah, not new. But I'm definitely holding some Mandox. I'm thinking about getting the Mandox NFT very soon too. What do y'all think about that? I think I should do that. Ben Johnson, what's happening, man? Can y'all hear that music playing? I'm testing out some interesting things here on my side of things. I don't know if I have to turn that up. Does that come? That's probably definitely coming through now, right? What's up, Ahmed? Press the like, yes. Mari's got it. Yes, sir. Nice. Can you hear it? Okay, cool. This is all built into StreamYard. Pretty sweet. Cali Crypto, I've never been this excited about a project like this since Apollo. Cali Crypto, what's up, man? He's got the RRC avatar too, the Rich Rabbit Club avatar. I love it. Yeah, the folks from Mandox will be in here in just a minute. We got everything lined up. We're going to just, super laid back, super chill, just kind of talk about what's going on with their project. So much positivity in this community. I feel like this is a little bit loud. Let me turn this down a little bit. There we go. We can bring that down. Oh, Luke's in the back room here. That's perfect. I will bring him in. The man who shares my last name, Luke. What's happening, man?
Oh, look at that. Looks like we're brothers on the stream right now.
I love it, man. How's everything?
It's going really good. It's going awesome.
Great, man. Yeah, we're just going to wait and get a couple more people in here. Is anybody else joining us, or is it just you and me? Or
I think it's just you and me today.
Okay, cool, man. So talk to me a little bit about, you know what, let's start with the overall market, man, and what came out today. Of course, the things here in the U.S. with crypto regulation have kind of been swirling. Where are you at just as a developer, man, with what's going on with the crypto market?
It's a difficult one for me personally because I love the fact that DeFi is separate, from basically it doesn't really have the government with its fingers in it. But I do understand. I think this past year has been pretty brutal for crypto in general. I think with the amount of rug pulls we've had, And the amount of underhand type of deals that are happening, it's kind of sad when there's less good projects than there are bad ones. So honestly, I can understand why. I can understand why regulations happen, and I think it can be a good thing depending on how much kind of power they end up having. It's kind of there's pros and cons to it in general. I feel like there's pros and cons to both sides.
Yeah, for sure, man. I want all the people to know out there, and if you're here, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe. If you haven't, make sure this gets out to more people so they can hear about Mandox's story. I want to hear your story a little bit, man. I loved the AMA that we did, or the Twitter space where all of us as YouTubers kind of told our story, man. Give the people your backstory, how you got into crypto, and how you got started with Mandox.
Well, a bit of my backstory. I'm a missionary in Guatemala. I was born in the UK, so I was born and raised in the UK. But I mean, we came here when I was 15 years old. So we knew God was calling us to go to Guatemala. And we didn't really know what we were going to do, but we came. We followed the call out here, and we've since then we're extremely involved in the community we work in. We work with the indigenous Mayan Indians. And, we've been out here for nearly 18 years. Since then, we've seen a school, a church, worked with youth, sports, everything. I think that's so the mission side of the token is basically comes from that. We're not necessarily a charity token, but I think that, for any business that's really growing and where people are profiting, and, in crypto, we see crazy profits. I've always wanted to see that, because that's what I do on a day-to-day basis. So how I got into crypto is basically, one of the other people on the dev team, a good friend of mine called Andre, he's part of the dev team. Basically, he was the guy 5 years ago. We're both musicians, and we're both very heavily involved in the music scene here in Guatemala. And he was the friend that I'd go hang out with, and he'd be sitting there in the corner of the room checking his phone. And at that time he was full on into XRP. Um, and so I started hearing about crypto then through him, but at the end I still hadn't taken the plunge and got involved. I was very skeptical of it. And then basically it came to a point when I really started getting interested, because he was heavily invested in Shiba Inu, and he has a really cool story about it. But basically, it helped him basically set up his own businesses, everything. The money he made off Shiba Inu was crazy.
I love
And
that. I love that, by the way. I want to come back to that, but go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I mean, it's incredible, man, because I saw the benefits of it. It wasn't just about making money. It was the fact that he was able to make enough to pull money out, and obviously keep investing in crypto. But it wasn't. It was done for. I'm very interested in business related things. I come from a family of businessmen, and I love starting things. I love going out and being like the first to do something. I love like taking a chance on someone that has this crazy idea. And so when I started seeing him take money from these from these gains on Shiba Inu, and he set up a coffee house, like all kinds of businesses that he was able to like give back, do jobs, like. And Guatemala is a place where jobs are really needed. And so honestly, it was I saw that and I was like, wow, I really feel like I'm missing out on something here. And so I got involved in Shiba Inu. That's my first. That was I got involved in XRP, and I started dabbling a bit more. Then I got into altcoins, which obviously, I mean, Shiba Inu is an altcoin. I started getting into basically all the other things. I got my first rug, and just getting into crypto in general. When I really started making money, though, or where I started to actually see gains I'd never seen before, was when I got into NFTs. And I started making NFTs, and I created this original collection called the Mad Mandos. There was only 100 or so of them, and I think the floor price right now is like an ETH. And honestly, I started making these. I was like, wow, I'm a missionary in Guatemala. Like I don't. We didn't necessarily have loads of money, and so the fact that I could get in this space, be doing artwork, and take advantage of the space was just incredible to me. And so it just opened up this whole new world of DeFi, NFTs, and that's really where Mandox began. Because from the collection, there was a community that formed around this collection called the Mad Mandos, and I started to get to know all these people that were um, supporting the NFT project. I got to know all the other devs, and we were just friends at the beginning. And it just kind of like there was a joke at the beginning, what if we started a token around the Mad Mandos, like around our whole concept? And that's where it was born. And we were like laughing about it. Me and the contract developer Squibby, the first two in the group, it was basically me and him at the beginning, and he was just helping me out with the website for my NFT collection, everything. It was awesome. Great times. And it started out as a joke. Hey, what if you made a token? Like, that'd be hilarious. And we're like, wait a minute. It would actually, you know what? It could work. There's a lot of really bad projects out there and people are losing a lot of money. What about if we were to do something really serious and really try and bring things that we want to see in crypto? And that's how it started. And that's Mandox was born from that.
Man, I love the story, and so many things I want to respond to, like right off the bat. And we'll bring it back to kind of your mission, because that's where you kind of started. And then I want to talk a little bit about SHIB too, and kind of how that brought you in.
Yeah.
But this is why 2% of the reflections of every buy and sell of the token is directed right back to the missions wallet that enables them to make these impacts. So.
Yeah.
If you want to talk a little bit about, that missions wallet, even if you want to go into what's already kind of been done, I think that's a really awesome idea. I think people, in the space today, people see that and they see how you guys are real. It's so hard to figure out, because you can see people, you can feel them out, but you never really know. But with you guys have been so transparent from day one. I remember when I first started looking at your guys' project and I started seeing your guys' community, and just there was no hatred. I mean, everybody was just kind of there for a common goal. And I think it starts with this mission, man, because you've laid this out as the forefront of the project. So I'll let you kind of go more into detail about the 2% of the reflections of every buy and sell.
So with the missions wallet, it is a multi-sig wallet. I mean, we're very careful with those top wallets. They are all multi-sig to protect every investor, and the missions wallet is no exception. Like at the end of the day, it's still a wallet. There's still a lot of Mandox in there, and so for the safety and for the peace or a peace of mind of our investors, all those big wallets are multi-sig. And so with the missions wallet, it is a 2% reflection. We get it in Mandox, so we are very careful with how we use it. The community knows about our decisions. We have basically we started off with an initial project, which is we bought 1,000 presents, and honestly, it's really crazy because you think about like money in crypto and then you compare it to the real world, and it's not a lot. Like you can do a lot with a very little, especially in countries like Guatemala. And so our first mission, basically, we bought 1,000 presents for 1,000 kids right up in the mountains in Guatemala. I think we spent a total of around $5,000, and we got 1,000 presents. So basically, like $5 each. But we took blankets and everything else, so it was actually less than that. We took blankets and food, and that's something my family does every single year for Christmas.
We may have lost Luke a little bit here. We'll see if he comes back on. I know he's in Guatemala, so sometimes the connections and the internet gods don't like us. Here we go. We're good.
Are we back?
Yep, we're back.
I don't know what's going on. Guatemalan Wi-Fi right there. And so it's something, it's been happening a lot lately. I don't know what's going on. But basically, so every year my family goes up into the Guatemalan mountains where there's extreme poverty. And we take, where we work, there's extreme poverty, but it is significantly worse. It is really bad up in the mountains, further up into the mountains than where we're from. And so we take 1,000 presents and we just do it as a gesture. Every year on the highway in Guatemala, in this particular area, thousands of kids sit on the side of the road waiting for someone to stop and give them a present or something. And so every year we've done this. And Mandox basically was basically helped us break that all-time record. And so we were able to take 1,000 presents, we were able to do it, and it was just mind-blowing. It was just awesome. And that was the first project we've done. We do donate 2 Ethereum a month to the mission school we have here, which funds basically the education of 200 children each month.
Wow.
So there are things that we're implementing, and again, it's all done through the mission where we are. Um, and that's awesome, but we are looking to expand and to help other people, because it's obviously there's not just needs here, there's needs all over the world. So as long as we can verify people, I mean, basically for missions and for people that we're going to work with, I will do my own KYC with them, because I want to make sure that people are legit. And it's not just crypto where people can fool you, like it's everywhere. And especially when it comes to charity, because people are donating money. I've seen it absolutely everywhere, and in the most, and it really is a bad thing, because people are donating thinking they're giving money to somebody that's going to help someone, and it actually doesn't, just goes to someone's pocket. So, yeah, that's basically the mission side, and yeah.
Yeah, man. I think we could put a bow on this, and I want to move over to NFTs a little bit here in the next segment. But I think this is so important because people on the outside looking in, and I want your opinion on this. When they think about crypto, I think they only kind of maybe see the headlines and the narratives, and sometimes those are negative things, like, oh,
Yeah,
crypto's only used for money laundering, and it's this
yeah,
underground way to do
yeah,
dirty things. But people who could see this understand that no, there are crypto projects out
yeah.
there that are actually making positive impacts. And I guess my question to that, and you could respond to that too, how long will it take to kind of flip that narrative, you think, around the crypto industry? What do you think? Like that it's not all bad, and there are projects like this one doing good.
I think we're starting to see a bit of a transition. Personally, I feel like because we've gone through a very rough period, we've had some tokens that have really come out of that, and have been a success in the middle of all that. Like last year, I feel like the end of last year was just terrible. I feel like it was literally, I feel like every day we wake up and hear about tokens that, I mean, you can tell some are rugs, but some of them that were happening, I think of the Suzuki one and everything. People, I was invested in them, and I invested a lot of money in those, and I lost a lot of money in those. And so, I think that really kind of like was a shock to people. But I feel like since then, yes, there are still rugs, but I feel like we're kind of getting out of that. I feel like there's a transition. And now, with regulations, I think people are going to have to really wake up and feel like, and see like, there is so much opportunity here. We do not need to be wasting our time with, this. And I think Twitter doesn't help. I feel like I've really kind of distanced myself, not from Twitter in general, especially not from the militia, but just from the amount of toxic stuff happening. I mean, people literally, I mean, the spaces are pointless. I really feel like a lot of spaces, not ours, ours are awesome,
Yeah.
but a lot of spaces in general, that you could be doing so much with it, and it just really isn't helping. So I feel like for mass adoption, it's going to take projects to just do what's not ordinary. I can't really say much right now, but Mandox is working on some partnerships that are really gonna push the boundaries with how crypto's seen, and the type of partnerships that crypto's not used to. And I think that's going to really help. I think as projects begin to see outside of the box and
Mm.
feel like, what can we do that makes us $1 billion business that is actually looked on with some respect? Because we can talk about it all day. Hey, we're $1 million business, but the reality is that we don't function like $1 million businesses. Like
Right.
there's some great people that are invested in Mandox that I personally know, I'm really good friends with, that have worked hard over years and years and years. And one day they were waiting tables, and now they have $1 million company, and it didn't come overnight. Like they had to work for that. And because they worked for it, they have this understanding of how to run a business. And I think overnight, a lot of people are made millionaires, or businesses have all this money, and all of a sudden they don't know what to do with it. Like they have no idea of how to run that. And I think that's the scary thing with crypto. And that's why we've seen a lot of bad things happen. But at the same time, that means that it can happen, and that there is incredible amounts of opportunity for this space to really, really take over. And I mean, like we can literally take over the way money is done, the way, basic things, and just basic, day-to-day things, and bring it into the mainstream. And I think how long it will take, I have no idea. It could be, honestly, if people really get to grips with it and work hard, we could really see this come into the mainstream very soon.
Yeah.
And I do believe we're at that point. I think we're at that point where it could really happen soon. I just think we've really got to nail down, like, come together as a community, not be so divided. Like, we're all
Yes.
working on the same goals here. It's not my token versus yours. It's, hey, we're in this space. Like, at the end of the day, if we want to see these tokens boom, it means we have to really hit mainstream. Like, we have to get Bitcoin back in the day,
Yeah.
and the amount
Yeah.
of people I've spoken to over the past 2 months has been incredible. Where they're like, man, like, I had so many Bitcoin. Like, I had this amount of Bitcoin, and I,
Oh,
I
yeah.
gave it away for pizza, or I lost it, or I just you know what, I didn't care. And now, like, looking forward, and I think if we can just try and look forward a few years and see where we're going to be then, man, we would be hodling. We wouldn't be worried. We wouldn't be panicking. We'd be investing in projects that actually have a long-term future and goal. And yeah, I mean, it's exciting. I feel excited. Like, although we've seen the regulations and everything else like that, I think the future's bright. It's very bright for crypto.
I agree 100%, man. And there are some people asking where it's available. So it's right up on screen. LBank, Shiba Swap, Uniswap, Cytomask, Hotbit right now. But I want to
Yeah.
ask you about the partnerships. Could you unpack that a little bit? How much can you say about that? The real world partnerships, who you've been talking to, maybe industries? Because I know there's going to be some people out there like, wait a minute, what was going on there? What's happening?
So I don't like to talk about things unless we actually have it. I think there's a lot of false hype, or people hype because they've had like a conversation. I remember when Cytomask, when
True.
Cytomask was coming out, and people, like, hyping their community up because they were maybe thinking about getting on the thing. Like, we've got to stop doing that to people. I mean, hype is everything, but we are very specific. We like to hype our community up when we've actually got the news in the bag, and we're just going to release it.
Yep.
So, I mean, um, sorry, I forgot what the question was.
If you could unpack any of those partnerships, but you kind of answered that. I mean, you
Yeah,
don't want to get into that
yeah.
right now. But
Yeah, we
yeah,
so with partnerships right now, I mean, we are, working with, like, we have ambassadors, we're working with Crypto Emperors, Crypto Deb, yourself. We've also been working with Jake Gagan, and so I think those are things that, we're working with in the crypto space, where people, let's face it, like, Zach, and your name has a very good name, and so for us to be able to, work with people like yourself, and come on your show and talk, those are great things. I think it adds a lot of legitimacy to our project just by being on here. Now, when it comes to, like, in the real world outside of crypto, we have we have various ambassadors. When it comes to UFC, we've got 3 fighters that are our ambassadors with us, and we're always looking to do that. We are actually going to be we're going to be sponsoring 2 games in Roland Garros tennis Grand Slam in France, and we're also going to be sponsoring 2 games in Wimbledon. That was the beginning of us trying to go outside of it, and it's not necessarily going to bring a huge pump, but it's putting Mandox in front of people that have never seen crypto before. And I know people go back and they're like, it doesn't really work. It actually does, because it's about bringing the brand, and it should show that we are very serious about what we're doing and where we're going. Now, there is a deal that I can't talk about until we actually have sealed this deal. It's a deal I'm very excited about, because it would be a very long-term partnership, and it's not necessarily with a person. Um, it's not with a person. It's with a company, um, a very wealthy company, with a lot of. I'm trying to really try not to spill the beans here. A lot of influence,
that's fair.
and I believe it's opening the door for us. And the beauty of this is, we're not just going to be doing a sponsorship deal where we have our name on whatever. We're going to be really working with this particular company in NFTs. We're going to be, basically coming on and partnering with them in this area. So Mandox is not just going to be on whatever it is they have. we're actually going to be partnering and advising them and basically helping them with their NFT collection. So that is, nobody's actually heard this news. So that's as much as I can share right now. But we are, like I said, until the deal is done, it's signed and it's on paper, we won't actually officially come out and say what it is or give hints in that way.
I respect that decision too, and I think a lot of investors do too, especially ones who've been in the space for a couple of years and realize kind of what failed promises do to communities and
Yeah.
what they do to personal investors too, right? It doesn't give you
Yeah.
that peace of mind. So I think that's a good
No.
idea. But I get what you're dropping down. I mean, I'm mopping what you're spilling a little bit because there are a lot of different companies out there that are looking to get into this space. A lot of big names.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think bridging those gaps with projects like your own, who've been here, who've done it, who've had successful
Yeah.
NFT drops, only makes this whole space stronger. Speaking of NFTs, I
Yeah.
want to kind of transition over there. Talk a little bit about your first drop and then this second drop that's coming up 9 days from now. And I know the minting or the whitelist begins in 9 days. I want in on that, by the way. I'll talk to you about that after.
So our first drop. So basically, Mandox is an entire universe. The Mandox is the gem. We've done that because it's the gem, it's the token, and with the drops, we divided it into 10 drops of, and I preferred it that way because it means we can really kind of like stagger it out instead of having the pressure of having to sell 10,000, we sell 1,000, and they all mix into our whole system. Um, and I love the fact that we can have 10 different tribes and 1,000 of each different tribe, and that they're actually going to all be integrated into our play to earn game. So it's really cool. It's a very cool concept. It's a very unique concept, and I think that's one thing we've always tried to do is, look, I know people do 10,000 at a time, but look, why don't we try and do something different? Let's try and think of something that is just gonna, add to everything, and that's what we've done. And so the next drop, the cyborgs, is a humanoid race. We have a whole story behind it. We've released videos on it, and honestly, it's exciting. It's exciting making these because these are all made in they're all made in house. One of our developers, Andre, basically he makes all of this. Everything you see right there is all done in house. Obviously, I work on the NFTs with him, and we really try to do that. And obviously, our contract developer Squid puts this all together, and everything you see is done in house. So it's exciting. I love it. I love the whole NFT space, and it's again. Mandox will be branching into music NFTs. First of all, we're going to be releasing our marketplace, which is very nearly done. And again, we're really branching into a world where few people are touching. But again, it's not just we want to release a platform and a marketplace and NFTs for people that are already in there. We're always consistently thinking outside the box. How can I get someone that's never invested money in DeFi, money into NFTs? How do I get them to take the plunge where it's not so much a risk, but actually where they can really enjoy this and enter in? And that's been something that we've always thought about because tiny percentage of people invest in crypto.
Right.
And you think about the amount of money invested in crypto today. Well, if that's just from a 4% in the US, but worldwide it's tiny, right? If we were to take that and say, well, let's double that, it's insane,
Yeah. I mean, I want to talk a little bit about that. And somebody in my Discord made a great point. Very, very smart. One of my moderators, super brilliant. He's been in the space for a long time. I've learned so much from him. Shout out to Daniel. I don't know if he's in the house. I think he is. Shout out to Daniel. But, he always reminds me that because, I've talked about how much the space has grown in the last 2 years, and it has, but we're still, from a global market cap standpoint in crypto, we're still not that of Apple, which is one company.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, so there's so
Exactly.
much room for growth.
Exactly.
And it's still at the infancy stage. I know we've grown a lot since
Yeah.
2017, but coming back to NFTs, where do you think NFTs are going? Because I mean, obviously, what you guys are building here is something amazing. I mean, but it's not going to stop here, right? With NFTs. I mean, it's going to get bigger. It's going to evolve. Like, where do you envision this space 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now? And how will Mandox kind of be a part of that?
Oh well, that's a really good question. That's a brilliant question. And it's hard for me to put into words where I really think NFTs are going. But I only believe that people that see, right, if you come into the space right now and you see an NFT and you think, I'm not paying $500 for a JPEG. Well, if you would have paid $20 in the past for a Bored Ape yacht, you'd be sitting on $20 millions of dollars right now.
Crazy.
So again, it's all perspective, and it's not about the NFT. It's not about the art. It's not about how cool these cyborgs are. It's not about how cool the Bored Ape yachts are. It's not about the artwork. It's about the smart contract. It's about everything that's behind that, and that is where NFTs is going. That's why music will be NFTs, house contracts,
Yeah.
any type of contract will be coming into NFTs, and we are literally just testing we're just testing it with JPEGs. There's a guy, I love this guy. He's a great friend of mine. And his name's Loudmouth. He's part of the Lazy Lion community. Very, very, very big.
May have lost him just for a sec. He should come right back. We'll see. For everybody tuning in, hopefully you're getting value. Don't forget to hit the like button if you are, and hopefully he comes back. There we go. We're good.
There I go. Sorry, it cuts out for like 15 seconds. I was like, oh, here we go. Right in the middle of it.
It's all good.
Anyway, where NFTs are going, I have a great friend, part of the Lazy Lion community, and he says it perfectly. And it's basically, look, NFTs is going to take over the entire space.
Yeah.
And basically, we're just testing on JPEGs. That's it. We're just testing this out on JPEGs.
Yeah, I'm so glad you said that, man, because those are conversations I've had with some other people too, and I agree with you 100%. Let me ask you this along those same lines: like, where does metaverse come into play with NFTs? Is it separate? Is it all going to be one? Is it this one big thing we haven't figured out yet? Will Mandox enter the metaverse? Are we already in the metaverse?
Sorry, I lost you there. But I heard the last part of that question. And Mandox is in the metaverse. We are in the sandbox. We do plan on getting more land in the metaverse too. Again, it's kind of hard even for people that are in the space to comprehend kind of like what's actually going on here and where we're going. But yeah, we're definitely, we're going to be in the metaverse. We already have land there. That was one of the last things we did on the NFT drop. Um, we took investments from that. We got an exchange. We got Hotbit straight away, and then we got land in the sandbox. So Manbox will be in the metaverse, and with these again, metaverse is the future. So we're always looking to go ahead and be part of anything in the future, and try and be the first people in the space to do it.
Love it, man. I want to transition over to Mandox EDU. Tell me about this. What are your plans for this? I think I know where you're going with this, but fill us
Yeah.
all in.
So this isn't really. I mean, it's not like a platform where you come and earn crypto or anything like that. Basically, I believe that the future of almost influencing lies in education. And so I think that, as a token, we don't just want to tell people, hey, invest in Mandox, give me your money. Like we've never done that. And at the end of the day, when people come in the community and, I will never tell people to invest. I don't want people to invest their savings. I don't want people to invest that type of stuff. I don't want people to do that because there's always the risk involved in crypto. I mean, you saw the other day, like when Ethereum dropped with the news of war, everyone dropped, like everyone, and people panic sell. And so there are things we just don't have control of. We have control over the token being legit. We do, as devs, and that's something we've always taken into consideration. But in the space, there's always, it's always a little bit risky. But with education, I feel like people can make those decisions. They can learn about the space. I wish there's things that I knew when I started to get invested and I lost money. There was things I knew about everything down to having a VPN, like using a separate device, having
Yeah.
a cold storage wallet, like just the tiny things that could have made all the difference. And I lost a lot of money. I got
Yeah.
hacked. I lost the most money I'd ever made in my entire life. All investments with my dad, and it came from pure money, man. I mean, it was tough
Yeah.
for me to lose that.
Yeah.
And so I think those are things that if people just know beforehand. So we are making an education site. It's pretty much done. We're basically the devs. We write blogs. We've also partnered with great educators in the space who have made videos, very good quality videos, not long, but enough for people to come in, read things daily, watch videos, and just learn. So that when people come in to buy Mandox, they're not just, hey, here's Mandox, here's how you buy. Instead of, look, hey, just take a minute, like take an hour. An hour is not a long time. Like you're not going to miss the train. Learn, come and learn, watch our videos, listen to our content. And it's not just about Mandox, it's about everything. It's about not getting scammed. It's about knowing how to invest. It's about diversifying. It's everything in crypto that is very important for people coming into the space. So that's basically, and we've just decided to create a platform on the side because it's not part of our roadmap, but we feel it's definitely needed. So one of our developers again has put in a lot of work, and we created an entire new platform. So it's pretty much done. We're going to launch it very, very soon.
Dude, I absolutely love it, man. And I know some other projects have talked about the educational components, may have not come to fruition yet, but the fact that you guys are getting there, I think this is so important. I think it's a way, in my humble opinion, a way for you guys to really separate yourself because there are so many new people coming to the space. And I think indirectly, people who find Mandox EDU first, then they're going to say, okay, now I'm ready to invest in crypto. I've got to give back to the people who taught me, everything I know about crypto and where I'm at in my journey. So I love it. I think it goes right around, right along with your mission of doing good and helping people. So so very important, man. I love hearing that. Everybody out there in the audience, keep your questions. Start your questions rolling in because we're about a half hour in. I want to start taking some questions from everybody else out there as well. But let's talk a little bit about the chart while we wait for some questions to come in. Man, one of the healthiest looking charts out there. I got to say it. I mean, it really is, man. I mean, amid everything
Yeah.
we've gone through, I mean, these last several months, it's just, it's amazing to see
Yeah.
how you guys are holding up. I know it's not the whole story, but it's certainly a piece of it to keep your mission moving
Yeah.
forward. Man, just talk a little bit about it. Whatever you want to say about it. I mean, I'm just, I was shocked when I looked at it and how well it's held up amid what's going on in our world.
Honestly, man, we've been super blessed. For anyone knows, I believe in the Lord. I believe in Jesus, and ever since I started this token, I'll be brutally honest. Like I was not necessarily wanting to get in and create a token because I knew the amount of stress and the amount of work that goes along with it. I have a huge respect for devs that are really working hard. I really, really do. And so, it was a decision that I really wanted to bring before God and ask Him to help me do this the right way. And ever since we started the token, I just feel like we've just kind of done our own thing. We've always done what we feel is right. We've always put the community first, and we have the most incredible, solid community. We're a family, and so I think we've not worried about getting 10,000 holders in the first month. We've focused on we're here for a very long time. Let's build this. We need to build this from the floor up. We need to build this organically. We need to focus on the things that are important. So, I mean, straight off the bat, instead of putting money into publicity and things like that, we actually went and got ahead. We went straight ahead. We got Certic audit, which is I think it's 92, 93 right now. Our ranking. Um, on CoinMarketCap, where we've got a very high ranking. Again, I think it just comes because the amount of trust that's in this token. We have people that are buying and holding because they trust our plans, they trust what's going to come in the future, and I think they trust because not just because of what we're promising, but because we are delivering on those things as well. We like I said, we don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. I'd like to underpromise and overdeliver.
Yes.
And so I think that's very important. And I honestly believe like the chart is a reflection of that. Obviously, you know, since the announcement of the war and everything, we've had a lot of people panic sell. There have been that, but we're still holding, and we're still holding in a very good region, and we're still building in it. You know, I really feel like right now with the way the market's going, you know, we could be looking for a very big run up soon. But again, we're we're doing this, we're not worrying too much about, hey, we're not pumping overnight. Like, and I tell people, this is a long-term hold. We're working, we're building behind the scenes, and we're always going to be pushing the boat. So, yeah, I do believe the chart is just a reflection of the community and that they're holding and that they believe in our and you know in everything that we're bringing to the table. But we're very blessed, man. I have no other words for it because I know there's a lot of charts and it's very difficult. Like once you get into those really low regions, it's difficult, you know. And again, anything can happen in crypto.
Yeah,
You know, and the main thing is you just stick at it. You know, a project is only dead when the developers give up on it. So.
love that.
Um, yeah.
All right, so we're going to transition into some questions from the audience. I see some rolling in, man. So what's going on in New York? A few of these coming in. So I'll let you take the floor on that.
There are, I'm just going to say this. Everyone who knows our marketers, we have two marketers that worked with Floki, um, and were part of the success at Floki. There are things on Twitter that will give you more of a hint onto what's going. So you guys are going to have to do a bit of digging.
Okay.
But basically, I'm not the type of person to go and get a billboard for a day. So please, people, do not think that we're just gonna, it's a, because of some billboard or something. That's not how I work. I don't hype people up because we got ourselves on a billboard, even though that's cool, right? Like, that's not what we do. So, what's going on with New York is, ooh, it is, it honestly, it's extremely exciting. It's extremely bullish, and it's going to put Mandox in front of people for not just one day. It's going to put Mandox, it's going to put our NFTs, it's going to put us in front of people in a new whole new world. Like it's things that have not been done before. And there's just some really cool things coming. And I do think that people will be flying to New York to see what's going on. And I do believe that some of the militia will be getting to New York to have a meetup to enjoy what we're going to do.
Love that. Daniel Rosenbach, I do not own any Mandox merch yet.
Oh, well, we'll take care of that.
I'm going to have to go check it out because I mean, I know it's going to look good. So Nuno has a good one here. I'd like Luke to explain how the NFT platform and music platform can benefit holders with the revenue created there.
Yeah, so the marketplace is nearly done. The music is honestly, this is something that's later. The music platform is a whole new concept entirely. So the marketplace, which is Mandox Create, is nearly done. And basically, the way it creates revenue is because marketplaces generate a lot of revenue. This was one of our ideas from the very beginning. We want to have a marketplace that supports a token. And it's going to support the token because on every buy and sell, when people are trading NFTs, when they're making NFTs, or not when they're making, sorry, but you know, when you're buying and selling NFTs, there's going to be a small transaction, and it will be less than OpenSea. Just want to put that out there. It's going to be a less percentage than OpenSea. We want to really help the artists that are coming in. We really want to create a platform built by artists for artists with a lot of perks, with a lot of really cool things on there, and so basically when it comes to like the marketplace itself, if we're making just a small percentage of what OpenSea is making basically on a daily basis, that is a lot of revenue coming back into Mandox. And obviously it's coming back into Mandox, whether it's for marketing or buybacks, whatever we want to do. Honestly, it's whatever we want to do with it, but it's going into the token. It's coming back into the holders. It's going to support the token, and it's going to push the token even further. So just having a platform, and that's the beauty of it. It's totally like it's a separate thing altogether, and it's just we're interested in creating streams of revenue. I think one quote that's always stuck with me in the past is like, if you want to be successful, you create different streams of revenue. Like you don't rely on one thing. You don't put all your eggs in one basket. You create different streams because while one is down, the other might be bringing in. And I think that's one thing that we've always focused on since the beginning is look, like we're building a multi-billion-dollar company. With this, that's the goal, right? That's where we're going. We want to be a multi-billion-dollar company. We need to build different streams of revenue. Think about things that haven't really been done before. So we're really branching into NFTs, but then I believe the NFT space is going to go into music, smart contracts. It's going to go into all types of things. That's the future. So I'm a musician. We have a very good producer on the team as well, Andre. We have all these ideas to basically integrate music into NFTs. Again, create more additional streams of revenue. The play-to-earn game, different streams of revenue. And that's basically how revenue is created through those platforms. It's created through the NFT sales. It's created through the platforms. It's created through partnerships that we're working on right now. It's all those different streams working at the same time.
I love that, man. There's a great book. I'm sure you might have heard of it or even read it. Probably Think and Grow Rich. It's an oldie but a goodie.
Yeah,
Napoleon Hill, 1937 book, and he said the same thing. Multiple sources of income, and he had this. And I know the acronym because he referred to it so many times. MSI, MSI, and he just tried to ingrain that into
yeah,
your head. And it's like use your skills, use your passions to create MSI. And so I agree with
yeah,
that 100%, man.
yeah.
Um, so here's a good one. Is there a meetup coming soon?
There are a few. In
Okay.
fact, there's talk right now. We're just confirming if we're actually going to be in that. There's an NFT Expo coming up in San Diego. I know the devs bought the tickets today. They're actually going to be flying out there. I have a meeting tomorrow because we're looking to do a crypto expo right here in Guatemala, funded and run by Mandox. That is in one of the most beautiful cities in all the Americas called Antigua. It's very safe. I know a lot of people worry about Guatemala, but it is very safe. There's a lot of money comes in flows in and through that. And so we're looking to basically do a crypto expo at the end of May or beginning of June and
Nice.
do a special meet for Mandox holders, like a special thing where they come, we do a special thing for them. We're going to do this crypto expo and all with NFTs, and we're going to have local artists. We can have artists come and or at least have a booth, like really try and think outside the box. Try and think about how we get Mandox in front of lots of people. So that's something. And like I said, again in New York, I do perceive that people will be meeting up there. There will be enough time and enough happening and enough exciting things going on for people to meet there and enjoy it. So there's going to be a lot of things happening. Obviously, with the whole situation and COVID and the vax thing and the vax mandate and all this kind of stuff, it's very difficult because there's different views. So it's difficult for people, to fly and this kind of stuff. But I do believe we're coming out of that right now. The media has their attention on other things, and therefore, I believe that those things will probably be relaxed. So it's exciting. We're planning on different things. We definitely want different meets where people can come together, and there are definitely a few of them coming.
And in terms of how people can get notified on that, Twitter, Telegram, main channels
Everything, yeah.
there. Okay.
Yeah, basically, we wouldn't be letting people know, hey, we're meeting up next week. Like this will be once the date is confirmed. I know with Guatemala, it's basically we're just confirming the place and the date.
Okay.
Once that's done, we'll come out and let people know so they got 2 months to think, am I going to go to this? Will I get there? And there again, like I said, for Mandox holders, there will be special things in place for people that hold Mandox. For investors, and like I said, not just Guatemala, US too. I know we're trying to really plan different things and get the Mandox tribe together, and yeah, and have some fun, man.
I love it, man. Here's a fun one. Isn't there a song on YouTube that mentions Mandox? It seems like all the rappers kind of, whatever community they're in, somebody's got a song about some particular token. So does Mandox have a song yet, an anthem?
Yes, it
Okay.
does, and it's by Nicky Cruz. If you look it up, Mandox,
Hold
Nicky
up.
Cruz. He basically he wrote a song, the Mandox theme tune. It's called Mandox, and
How do you spell Nikki?
it's a great song.
N-I-C-I?
I think Nicky. I
Okay.
think that's how
Nikki
it's done.
Cruz.
Cruz Mandox. We'll see if that should bring it up.
Awesome.
Oh no,
Uh,
not that one.
maybe it's I.
Hey, I'm gonna find it, and then I'll help you there because I got
Okay.
it right
All
in
right.
front of
Cool.
me right now.
Cool. Somebody was asking about that. That's cool. What else do we got here? I'm trying to just scroll through some questions here. Oh, here's one. Nutsack, thank you. That's a hilarious name, I know. Nut's been around for a while. Very, very well known in the space, and called Terra Luna when it was at like $12. So shout out to Nut. Are you guys going into 3D hologram NFTs? Is that the next phase, Luke? Do you think, like the 3D? You're hearing a lot about that in the NFT space.
Yeah, I mean, I think things that are going to start happening over the next few years are just going to be so outlandish, so futuristic. But we haven't personally haven't got into doing a 3D hologram NFT. But like I said, we're always looking to get into things that are just being done. And so if people are doing it now or starting to, I can certainly see Mandox branching into that.
Love it. Did you mention Crypto Expo in Los Angeles? Zion was asking
Yes, San
that.
Diego. There's something happening.
Okay.
There's an event going down. I've forgotten the exact name of it, but I do know that we have bought tickets today to go.
Okay.
Oh, Goliath Cruz. Sorry, his name is Goliath Cruz when
Goliath
Lambo.
Cruz
There
when
you go.
Lambo. Gotcha. All right. Let's see. Pull it up. At least take a look at it so people can play it. We won't do it for copyright reasons, but it should be good. But we'll just pull it up here. There it is. Mandox. There it is. There you go. So it
There
comes
it
right up
is.
when you do Goliath Cruz. So perfect. Cool. Let's see what other questions
That's
we
awesome.
got. Let's see. Oh, somebody just posted the link. There we go. Here we go. Here's a question. NFT staking.
Very soon.
Okay.
In fact, we're just working on the platform where you can get it done. But yeah, that's extremely soon. So obviously you can stake. I don't want to go ahead and say something wrong here because we have the original 100 collection, the Mad Mandos. But then
Wait about 10 seconds. We should get Luke back. Hopefully. Keep your questions rolling in too, guys. We got about another 15
there we
minutes or
go.
so. There we go.
There we go. So yeah, NFT staking very, very soon.
Cool.
Very soon. The platform is pretty much done. We're just basically getting the whole thing together, tokenomics of it, and everything, and working on that side. So Squid is working on that, and the NFT staking will be really soon,
Cool. I'll throw one in
which again
here.
is exciting.
What was that?
I said it's really exciting. It's something new, you know.
Definitely. In terms of the roadmap, where are we kind of with the roadmap?
So we've done episode 1. We're through with that one. And right now we are in the middle of episode 2. So obviously, you know, those are things we've done. Shiba Swap, Cytomars, all those done. We're launched Mandox EDU. We're about to do that. 5,000 plus holders. We're getting there. And honestly, since Cytomask actually was active after the long wait of it getting active, it is finally working. And so the holders have gone up pretty much. They've gone up really well over the last few days since they did that. So extremely exciting because you know it's I feel like once you pass the 5,000 holder mark, I've heard a lot from other devs that you know it just kind of seems to boom from there. So
Hmm.
you know we're obviously really working on that. And again, it's not really something we've really been concerned about. We've been focused a lot on the future and you know and building things for the future. So, but the holders have been going up very well. Again, released the first 3,000 NFTs. We're on the second drop right now. Mandox Create again. The back end is pretty much you know near completion, and so that's going to be coming. So we're doing very, very, very well for episode 2 right now.
Love it, man. I also heard you guys have a pretty lively Discord. Is that a good place to be from what I'm hearing?
Yeah, it's a party. Now I'm not. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm rarely on Discord. I was always on Telegram. and then with Twitter, and then just the running and doing everything else, I rarely got time. I have like 3 kids. That's why you probably hear my kids all day. You know, and I don't really have an office. My office is in like right in the hall, so everybody can usually hear everything that's going on in my house. And so it's just been difficult for me to get on Discord, but it is a very good Discord. I know
Awesome.
that.
So Zion's got one. San Diego is an NFT expo. Are you also planning on addressing crypto there as well? Like the token itself and crypto in general? Is it only NFT?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean everywhere we go, wherever we are, I think we never divide the two because Mandox is always trying to bridge the gap between DeFi and NFTs. Like we want to be a token that when you see Mandox, you see both. You see, wow, crypto NFTs, like it's all interlinked, and so we're always working on linking the two, where it's not just one or the other. And I think honestly, it's very hard to separate NFTs from crypto anyway, because NFTs are smart contracts. Like they are, you're basically buying a token. So I think wherever we are, whether we have NFTs there or whether we have just the token there, it's all there. Like it's all part of the same yoke, you know.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I want to ask you about this too, and I ask a lot of developers about this, and I love learning about this. I think holders and crypto investors do too. Take us through like the exchange process, because I think so many investors, love hearing new exchange listing, and we as YouTubers, that's content for us. But I know like that whole process and getting listed on CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap and all these things it's not as easy as it looks, man. So I think if you could just kind of take us behind that wall a little bit, man, that'd be cool.
So behind the scenes, it's difficult because I feel like with CoinMarketCap, I don't want to say anything by that's going to get me in trouble, but oh,
we might have lost him there for a second. He'll come back. There it is.
There we are. Sorry. So basically, when it comes to exchanges and CoinMarketCap, unfortunately, there are some that work like, hey, if you pay us more money, we'll get it done faster.
Okay.
And I'm not going to mention names, but it is very, and I'm not talking about exchanges here. I'm talking about like CoinMarketCap. I know a lot of people have a lot of problems, there, and it is difficult. And so, but at the end of the day, I think it's just about, you just kind of like have to stick to your guns. You have, and I think there's a lot of things, again, there's a lot of scams when it comes to exchanges. You really want to make sure you're talking to people that are actually from the exchange. Otherwise, you can get yourself into some real big problems. So it is difficult. Like some of the things are hard, but again, I think it's not just about how many exchanges, it's about having the exchanges that work for you. I think that when people come in and like, hey, when's a new exchange? We're not just going to get an exchange for the sake of it, because it's a lot of money. Like people don't realize, like if you want to get on crypto.com or if you want to get on a big exchange, it's doable. But I mean, we're talking hundreds of thousands, $1 million. And so we need to be careful with every exchange we go with, make sure that it's the right one, because it's great to be on exchanges. It really is. Like it really puts us in front of people. Like it's the whole marketing aspect. There are people that literally just invest through exchanges. So it's broadening our what's the word in English? It's broadening our influence,
Yeah.
and our scope. Yeah. And getting us in front of people. So it's great. We do have some exchanges lined up that we're working on. That is going to help broaden, and that's one of them. I want to go back to Shiba Inu, and I don't want to, I don't want to shill Shiba Inu at all. But I looked at a
tell
Shiba
my
Inu
story about that. Yeah. I forgot
but I
about that.
look to Shiba Inu because it is really the OG, right? I mean, it's when it comes to meme tokens and altcoins, I mean, it was where it all began. So there's a lot of respect that's got to be paid to Shiba Inu, and honestly, if they're in 20 countries. Like you can get Shiba Inu anywhere. And I think that's when I look
99 exchanges now, dude.
Yeah,
How crazy is
exactly.
that?
And
For
I
sure.
think that's something we're interested in when it comes to Mandox. We want to be a token that you can get anywhere. We want to be a token that's everywhere and it's in front of people's faces.
Yeah.
And that's why we're looking for deals that are going to put us in front of people, where it's not just about exchanges, but it's both. It's about real life exposure and exchanges, and using those techniques and those tactics to basically get ourselves in front of everyone that we possibly can. So
Dude, I love that we have the same last name and we have the same Shiba Inu story, because without Shiba Inu, we would not be here today. And seriously, I have to pay so much homage to the SHIB community. And man, when I started in on YouTube and back in May, I was just like, literally, dude, like talking about like personal growth and finance here and there. I had 40 subs, and I was like, you know what? The Shiba Inu thing. I was invested in crypto. I was getting into it, and I was into Doge. Never created content about it. I sold a little too early. I got in at 1 cent, sold at 7 cents. You know, could have sold at 70 whatever cents, but I was like, okay, I'm not gonna miss this Shiba Inu thing. And I've created this YouTube channel a couple months ago. I was like, you know what? I'll just put a SHIB video out. I've got a decent broadcasting background. I don't know really what the hell I'm doing, but what the hell, you know? And woke up the next morning, dude, to 3,000 views and like 500 new subs. And I'm like, I think this is it, man. And I've created a SHIB video every single day since. So, dude, when you said that at the top, man, it was like, I'm in the same boat, dude. It really paved the way for me too with this YouTube channel and getting myself into community coins and crypto in general, man. And now it's the life we live, man. It's pretty cool.
And I think that's awesome. And you know, and all it was basically me hearing, "Hey, man, I made this amount of money last night," and there's me sitting there like, "What? You know what?"
Right.
And so, you know, I think that's the beauty. Like that's one thing, you know, because marketing can be done. We can do everything we can, but the best marketing is one-on-one.
Yeah.
And it's doing, and basically, if you have good stories in crypto, tell people about them. Like literally tell people, "Hey man, like look, this is where I was, I understand, but like this is what's happened now." And you don't even have to convince people. The stories alone will do it. Like if people know, they'll start digging, because that's what I did. I heard and I was like, "You serious? That's insane." You know,
Exactly.
and again, you know, people need to be educated when they come in, because they think they might make $1 million overnight, and that's not the case. And you know, I know the guy that you know, our developer Andre, when he had his like that success on Shiba Inu, with Shiba Inu, he'd been in it for a very long time. And actually, the story is hilarious because he invested a ton in Shiba Inu. It tanked, and
No.
he's literally sitting there for a month, and he's like, "Do I sell? Do I hold?" Like, and he held, man. He held, and then he woke up one morning with just, you know, money he'd never seen before, and you know, and with that he was able to start his own business and do other things, and that's the beauty of it. Like, I think it's, don't get greedy. Like, you
Yeah.
know, come into the game, know what your goals are, and go for them, and because it can happen, and it will all happen in this space.
100%, man. I love hearing other people have success too. You know,
Yeah,
I love it, man. Because you could feed off that energy, and I think you hit it on the head, man. I love hearing the stories of people having success, and even with other tokens that you know, we've covered here on the channel, and hearing the stories of getting emails of like,
yeah,
dude, you know, we're buying a new house, and our whole life is
yeah,
changing because we decided to do this,
yeah,
and I love it, man.
yeah,
That's what it's all about,
yeah.
dude.
It
Dude,
is. It is.
one last question, and really it's not a question, but I always like to end these type of things with this. Is there anything like that I didn't ask you directly or didn't come from the audience that you kind of just want to say about Mandox? Something that, you know, you're thinking about that, man, I really wanted to hit on this, but we didn't get there. Anything on that front?
I feel like we've spoken about everything. I'll probably have the devs like, "Hey, so you didn't say this,"
Right.
but I feel like we've honestly touched everything. Um, yeah, I feel like we touched pretty much everything that is going on in Mandox. I mean, there's obviously things we're working on behind the scenes we haven't really spoken about. You know, but there's great things. I think the play to earn game is something we haven't really spoken about, not just on this AMA, just in general. But I mean, the team that's behind this and is working on this are some of the most incredible guys you'll ever meet. And it literally came from the community. I say this a lot because we never actually put the game in the original whitelist.
Okay.
In the original sorry, in the roadmap, sorry.
Okay. Okay.
It
It's
was
here
it
now.
wasn't part of our it was yeah, it's here now. And basically people from our community, good friends of mine that I'd known for a very long time, I didn't know actually quite the extent of their capabilities and their knowledge and what they can do. And basically they said, look, we would like to contribute by building Mandox, a play to earn game. And the game, honestly, will be one of the best games to come out in crypto.
I love it.
I do believe that.
I love it.
Honestly, the game they're building and the talent that is behind that is going on in that group. I walk in there and I know nothing, right? I'm not like that way inclined, and they're talking about this stuff building the game, and I'm just sitting like, okay, do your thing.
But you
and there.
But you do agree that play to earn, I mean, it's going to be massive, right? I mean, this space
Yeah,
is just going to
yeah,
explode. I
yeah.
mean,
And I grew up in the 90s, playing, like, getting into gaming, and that was like, I love gaming. I still play games. Like, I love playing games now. I love, and I see where it's going. Now, I haven't really done a lot of online gaming. I used to, but then I got married and I have kids, and it's just it's hard for me to
right.
get that time on the side. But man, a lot of young people, I mean, a lot of kids right now, a lot of teenagers, they're playing games and they're playing them a lot, and it's all online, it's all connected. Well, what happens
Yep.
when you start bringing earning into that?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Because
And that's, yeah,
massive, dude. Massive.
it's massive. And it's starting again. I know it's really easy to look at games and be like, well, I mean, I just bought so and so on PS5. It's like, well, yeah, but I mean, what's happening here is a totally new concept. And I think
Right.
that's where it's in its baby stages. And so we can never, in the Bible, it says, do not despise the day of small things. And I've always looked at that and thought, we never need to despise the day when things are just being built, because you're
Right.
building steps that are going to take you to the future. And
Yeah.
so we need to, when we're building games, when we're doing these things, we're just doing the building blocks. This is what crypto is.
Yeah.
It's
That's where
so
we are.
small.
Yeah.
That's where we are.
Yep.
So, there's going to be hard days. There's going to be difficult things. There's going to be tokens that do things bad and rug you. We've all been there, but it doesn't mean you give up on the space. It doesn't mean that you give up on where we're going and on where this is really going. So it's exciting days, man. Exciting stuff.
Luke, man, it's always a pleasure, dude. This was a great conversation. I hopefully everybody out there got some great value from this, and can't wait to do it again, man. This is great.
Oh, it's been awesome, man. It's been awesome. I saw
Yeah.
a comment earlier that said, "Man, if I shaved my head, we would look just that little bit more alike." And no kidding, like, I have spent since the age of 12, I've always had a shaved head. But over the
No
last
way.
few years, I've decided to try and just grow it out a little bit. I'll enjoy it while I got it,
You still
so.
have it, man. Not me, man. I started 20. I was 25. I started getting what do they call it? The widow's peak. I started getting the male pattern
Yeah.
baldness up here. I said, all right, it's time to let it go. but
That's
yeah,
awesome, man.
So wait, real quick. So nationality wise, have you done like the ancestry.com or like what are
I have.
we? Okay, what are
I
we?
have.
Are we
So so it's really interesting because Humphries IES. Now, my dad's family, we found French aristocratic blood in our line, gypsy. I mean, but basically, it's really interesting to know where it comes from. But I think it's a French origin name.
Okay.
Now, on my other side, I know exactly where that name has come from, but that's a totally different name. But the name Humphries was a little bit harder for us to really trace. But I'm very into that, and it goes back to there was a French aristocrat involved, and this is going to sound hilarious, but basically he had a kid with a gypsy servant girl working in his estate or home or whatever.
Really?
And there was a line that came from there. And so basically there's all this kind of stuff. Very interesting. I mean, I love it because history is one of my big things.
Man.
I really enjoy it. So
no,
but it's certainly something I would like to find out more.
Yeah, and we've done kind of some ancestry stuff, but I don't think we've gone back all the way. But here's the thing: I know on my dad's side, it's mostly Serbian. So I
interesting.
But yeah, well, and my mom's side, it's mostly Italian, but French is over there too. So I don't know, man.
It's because
But
it's an interesting name because there's a lot of, like, for example, obviously in the UK, Humphreys is a lot more. It's not common, but it's not like, oh,
more
that's a new name. You know,
right.
it's more common, but it's usually EYS.
Right.
IES is usually a very random, like usually it's an unseen name. So
Yeah.
it was really, I actually thought you were from the UK when I saw your name. I didn't realize you were from the US when I first saw you. And when I found out you were from the US, I thought that was really interesting because I've never seen anybody in the US with that name.
It's cool. Yeah. But you're right, dude.
Yeah.
Most of the people I do know with that last name in the US, it's usually EEYS or EY apostrophe S. So yeah.
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 That's cool, man.
Well, maybe we're family.
Yeah, we
Just don't know it
somewhere
yet.
down the line, right? Yeah, yeah,
Has to be.
yeah. Well, hey, man, I totally enjoyed it. You can hang back for a few. I'll end the stream. We can chit chat behind the scenes here in a minute. But thank you, everybody out there listening. Take care, everyone. Have a good night, good day, and see y'all very soon.
See you guys.